All right, so this is a suggestion via a donation. The name of the video is Why Michael Jackson's Skin Turned White as He Got Older. I'm going to go ahead and guess it was probably vitiligo, guys. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I do think that it starts in the very private, personal regions of human beings. I have no idea why it happens, right? But I'm pretty sure it's something regarding that.
Hello,
Let's check it out.
I'm Simon Whistler. You're watching the Today I Found Our YouTube channel, and in the video today we're looking at why Michael Jackson's skin turned white as he got older.
Let's go.
Many scandals marred Michael Jackson's personal life,
Bro, that is a heavy retouch on that on his face.
overshadowing his otherwise remarkable musical career. One such scandal was the obvious change in his appearance, especially his skin color, which started from the mid-80s to slowly but surely turn from dark to white. By the mid-90s, when Jackson released his album History in 1995, it was more than obvious to even his most dedicated fans that the man of Thriller from 1982 looked nothing like the man who had recently married Elvis Presley's daughter, Lisa Marie. By this time, Michael Jackson was milky white. A skin color transition that started almost a decade earlier was more or less complete. So what happened? According to his family and Jackson himself, the king of pop had vitiligo, a condition that causes depigmentation of parts of the skin, which usually results in white spots on the patient body. These are even more noticeable if the person has a dark complexion, as in Jackson's case. The 1 in 250 or so people who have this condition typically first start seeing signs of it beginning between 10 and 30 years old. Approximately 30% of the people who have it also have it run in their family, which is true of Jackson. In addition to this skin disorder, Jackson also reportedly suffered from systemic lupus erythematosus, which, besides potentially being a very serious condition, can also cause loss of skin pigmentation. When the controversy...
So he had it like doubly bad, I guess. What's interesting is that I don't think a lot of people knew this when he was like alive, though. I think maybe later on in his life, people kind of understood it. But when he started showing up like extremely light-skinned, the world, at least the world of Black Americans, let's say, were like, what is happening? Why is he doing this? Because we instantly will equate it to people that have darker skin, that absolutely hate their skin color. So what they do is they bleach their skin, right? So we instantly look at it like there's obviously something wrong with him mentally. This man hates himself. So then people probably also stopped liking everything about him, because if you hate your skin tone, then you must hate mine. That was kind of a consensus kind of moving around, guys, right? There are still like a lot of people who still do this, though. I mean, look at almost all of Jamaica. You know, I think they call it fashion. They say, oh, I bleached my skin for fashion. Okay, and like in Southeast Asia, the same. I don't know, guys. There are some people who do not like how they were born, so they change themselves. But this is obviously not Michael Jackson's reasoning, right? His was all purely medical.
About his changing skin color hit its zenith, Jackson spoke openly about his vitiligo for the first time in an interview he gave to Oprah in 1993. He said, among other things, "It is something I cannot help. When people make up stories that I don't want to be who I am, it hurts me. It's a problem for me. I can't control it. But what about all the millions of people who sit in the sun to become darker, to become other than what they are? Nobody says nothing about that."
I think the problem was also his hair, right? Like the fact that he pretty drastically started like chemically treating his hair to make it a little bit more straight and flowy, right? I think that offended a lot of people at the time also, guys. But I get it. I mean, yeah, people can be absolutely terrible. They're making up things that are not true. They're filling in the blanks because they don't really know the truth. And the fact that this interview came out in 93, I was what, bro, like 8, 7, somewhere like that. And then later on in life, the story of him bleaching his skin still was extremely pervasive, honestly, until I was maybe 23, guys. So just keep this in mind. This thing lasted in the Black American community, pretty long. All right, he was made fun of basically for him changing his skin tone and changing all of his facial features and then adding, changing his overall hair texture. And all of these things culminated in just an outright dismissal of this man's brilliance and everything about him, guys. Like, the fact that he changed so drastically was what a lot of people were completely upset with. But I think if he would have not, let's say, chemically treated his hair and altered his nose, there probably would have been more love, if that makes any sense, guys, right? I mean, I get it. He's not pulling a Sammy Sosa, guys. He's not. He didn't. So give the man some respect.
In the days after,
not Sammy Sosa. Don't respect him.
At Jackson's request, his condition was publicly confirmed by his dermatologist, Dr. Arnold Klein, who also stated Jackson was first diagnosed with the condition in 1984. It was also confirmed that he had lupus erythematosus then.
Yeah, like looking at this image on the right here, you can see it on his face.
But it was in remission. Conspiracy theorists propose that there was much more to it than this, that in fact Jackson had no such disease and that he instead systemically bleached his skin using Benequin cream and other medical cocktails in his quest to look like a white person. The obvious...
That's what it was for many people. For many people, that's just what happened. There's nothing you can say to any of these people that would change their mind. That's just what happened. And then that's when all of the overall, let's say, the stories about him started popping up. Understand the time of when him changing his appearance happened to the people in the Black American community just completely just outraged that he would change his skin tone, right? That he would change his skin tone from their perception, obviously. And then all of a sudden, all of the accusations.
Yes, and extensive cosmetic surgeries he had on his eyebrows, eyelashes, lips, and nose only served to enforce the theory that he was simply purposefully tweaking his appearance even more by bleaching his skin. Yeah. So is there any truth to this? Dr. Christopher Rogers, deputy medical examiner at the Los Angeles coroner's office and the man who conducted Michael Jackson's autopsy, chimed in on this after performing the autopsy on Jackson. Dr. Rogers confirmed that Jackson indeed suffered from vitiligo, most notably with patches around his face, chest, abdomen, and arms. So, did he also bleach his skin? According to dermatologist Dr. Hanish Babu, Jackson did. This is sometimes a treatment used for those with vitiligo. When these white patches first started appearing, you can see from certain of Jackson's concert footage that he was trying to mask them with makeup matching his original skin color. Once the patches became too numerous to easily hide with makeup, and he supposedly became tired of the extensive time needed to apply the makeup every day, he switched strategies and began the process of bleaching his skin, supposedly under the care of his dermatologist and using 20% monobezyl ether of hydroquinone, Benequin cream. Much later, in June of 2009, after his death...
It's such a shame, guys. I'm very anti the concept of changing your skin tone. I'm extremely anti that. And I see that this is like, it looks like to be in Hindi here. And it would make sense for the country, based off of the history of the caste system, for this to be something that is being mass produced in a country such as that, right? What he did in this very specific instance was purely fine. Normally, me being such a advocate against the concept of bleaching your skin, and it's not fashion, guys. It's something different. I know you don't want to say it internally. It's something different, okay? But what he did was to mitigate the fact that he probably looked extremely patchy. His skin tones were kind of all over the place. It's fine, right? But some people just can't deal with that publicly, and I understand why he didn't want to. So of course he bleached the areas that were a lot darker than the demelanated skin that was appearing.
Tubes of benaquin and hydroquinone were found in Jackson's home. As Dr. David Saucer said, some patients with vitiligo get to the point where it makes more sense to remove the brown bits because so much of the skin is pale. Besides giving him a white complexion, this also results in him being prone to sunburns, which is why in later years he often kept himself nearly completely covered when outside in the sun. In the end, only Jackson knew his true motivation for ultimately choosing to bleach his skin, whether as a treatment for his vitiligo to even out his skin color as reported, or as the conspiracy theorists claim, to further change his appearance to more of a Caucasian look, though one would think the latter would be an odd move for the co-author of The Line with Bill Bottrell. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. So I really hope you found that video interesting. If you did, please do give us a like below and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Also, over there on the right are a couple of other videos you might enjoy if you enjoyed this one, and thank you for watching.
All right, guys, so yeah, like, I know, again, one second. So I know, as a person who is deeply melanated, I understand it. There are people within the community of people who look just like me who absolutely hate every single thing about the color of their skin. Like, they are obsessed with it, right? To the point where they start the process of skin bleaching, and then make excuses for it by saying, oh, this is just something because I want to look like how people look in magazines. That's generally the response. The reason why when you ask them to kind of explain themselves deeply, they'll just say it's for fashion. The same thing that happens in a lot of countries in Africa, the bleaching of your skin because you do not like how you are. You think that you'll never be any type of success without being slightly lighter. But the interesting part about this here, like, even when people bleach their skin to the level that some people do, right? I mean, if you go to a dermatologist and get that type of skin bleach, you're gonna get lighter, bro. Right? We could talk about like Beyonce. We could talk about Nicki Minaj. These people who have tended, who have allegedly lightened their skin, to kind of be different in a sense, right? But it's all terrible, and if you don't do it the right way, in terms of, again, through a dermatologist, it's pretty obvious that you're bleaching your skin. Because if you have my skin tone and you flip pigment, guys, look at Sammy Sosa, but just type in Sammy Sosa before and after, and then come back to the chat and be like, I saw Sammy. Wow. Okay, just. Bro, Sammy Sosa, there's a reggae artist named Vybz, Vybz Cartel with a K. Type in that name before and after, and you'll kind of get instantly kind of what I'm saying here. Bro, it just looks weird. It doesn't, like, you're not going to look like Michael Jackson. If that's what you think you're going to look like, you're wrong, bro. You honestly look like jaundice, bro. You're not. It looks like there's something plaguing you. I can't explain it. Like, there's something in the depths of you that is broken almost. Like, whatever, like, your pineal gland is absolutely calcified in a terrible manner, basically. Like, all the melanin producing things that are in your body are gone. All right, that's what happened, bro. You look terrible. All right, with all disrespect intended, you look terrible, bro. All right. So there you go. Just be who you are. That's it. If people don't like you, they don't like you. Why do you care that much? I don't know, guys. It's just a frustrating topic, guys. Right? But all right, listen, let me know in the comments on the next one of these from him that I should be checking out, and I will get into that as soon as I possibly can. All right? And listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day, and enjoy your day thoroughly.